Vanquish is a sci-fi third-person shooter released back in October 19, 2010, developed by Platinum Games and published by Sega. You play as a DARPA agent known as Sam Gideon, a man that happens to come across as a breed between Nakey Snakey, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Ordinary Man. And maybe some Common Rider, I don't fucking know. Anyway, the Earth's fucked in terms of energy resources, so we try alleviating that problem by making a space colony by transmitting solar energy and converting that into an alternative source of power. Then Cyborg Vladimir Pudding gets salty and microwaves San Francisco because of the Venom movie that's coming out. President Hillary Clinton then decides to send you, Steve Bloom, and all his hot boys to infiltrate the space colony that's overran by the Russian and their murder bots. Oh, and there's a cute blonde girl. That may not sound all that impressive at face value, but there's a little more to it. This game's probably the best case of show don't tell as far as its presentation goes, both in terms of its art style and most importantly, the gameplay. You got all this cool ass looking hyper techno sci-fi stuff all over the place. Hell, even the weapon switching animation looks pretty cool. Anyway, at face value, the game feels like it plays like any other third person shooter. That is, until you start using your suit's mobility and tricks.
Releasing the limiters on the arc station. Your last year's fun.
Yeah, the ARS, otherwise known as the Augmented Reaction Suit, has probably got to be one of the better power armors in gaming, like, hands down, with all the ridiculous shit you can do with it. Notable examples being rocket sliding while shooting, hopping out of cover in slow motion, using a melee attack to juggle enemies in the air to then empty out a magazine onto them. Now granted, there's a lot more ridiculous ways to pull off crazy shit, but these are the most notable ones in my mind. It elevates the gameplay to such a satisfying degree that you start to wonder why nobody else has made a third-person shooter like this. For instance, what other game lets me rocket slide on my ass while shooting every robot I see in sight and top that off with a rocket kick that then performs the flip in the air while shooting even more robots in sight? Or climbing a giant robot's arm and then dodging some rockets only for the player to then grab a rocket, go inside the robot's hand, and then come out of it.
Fucking slaves!
Or shit, how about boxing a robot's head off? Hell, why not just corkscrew the fucking robot while you're at it? I don't know if there's another game at the level of this, but if there is, please tell me in the comments. Crazy shit like this is just what encourages the player to experiment around with the gameplay in this sandbox, finding out what combo works best to make you look all that more stylish in your executions. It's almost like a character action game in the vein of Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, that then decided to fuck Gears of War and pump out this gem. A third-person character action shooter, if you will. Otherwise known as TPCAS, formerly standing for Tactical Potato Casting a Spell. Fortunately, the gunplay feels pretty damn tight as well, giving you the right amount of impact and weight to your weapons. A notable example being your boomstick. Just look at this thing. It just blasted this Megatron-looking robot like it was nothing. For most of the game, you're going to be sticking with your assault rifle. It has just the right amount of firepower, accuracy, and ammo's reasonably plentiful, which you're going to be needing a lot, by the way. And it just feels so satisfying landing headshots with this thing during slow motion. I mean, just look at that. It's satisfying! As far as weapons go, the game certainly delivers on that front with just the right amount of tools to blow all these hot robots to smithereens. There's no question about that. You got the two weapons I've already mentioned, two variants of a heavy machine gun, a pistol that gives the greatest revolver in the world known as the Deagle a run for its money. Anyway, the gist is... fuck? Anyway, the gist is that most of the weapons are fun, meaty, and impactful, just the way I like it. Now that I've been blowing praise in this game's figurative and maybe literal dickhole, let's bring out the inner cynical asshole from within me and talk about the game's flaws. For starters, this game's short. Granted, it's a game that doesn't overstay its welcome and is a fine example of quality over quantity, but it really leaves you wanting more once you realize what this game is and what it sets out to do. Another gripe I got with it is that the environments can be a bit mundane, seeing industrial grays and whites everywhere. It does open up from time to time, but there can be a little more variety in a few spots. I'm not asking for Skittles / Power Rangers Gay Pride Parade. I just want a little more variety in my environments, that's all. As much as I love the wacky stuff you can do in this game, melee attacks in particular can become a bit annoying. NANI? No, not because of that. That shit's amazing! It's annoying because landing an attack with it can deplete your boost gauge. It would have been nice to see it deplete a good chunk of it rather than depleting it entirely. That bums me the fuck out. I want to pull off more and more crazy shit like this. It really kills my melee boner, damn it! The story itself isn't really anything notable, but I do appreciate the cheese in the dialogue. Plus, we got ourselves a Starship Trooper reference in this game.
Come on, you ape. You wanna live forever? Come on, you ape! You wanna live forever?
Grade A material. Wait, where was I? Oh, right, negatives. Another bumming fault isn't even a problem with the game, but the fact that Sega didn't give this game a whole lot of attention. Keep in mind, this came out around the time that Sega just sort of dropped the ball in terms of marketing their games to Western markets. Granted, it was intended to be a one-off and nothing more, but damn it! More people need to know about this gem! Plus, this game was inspired by the Cast Hand series. You know how awesome it would have been to have a mechanical canine as your partner? Fuck! Anyway, in conclusion, Vanquish is a hell of a good time from start to finish. It's fast, fluid, tight, and fun as all hell. Plus, considering that it's around 8 years old now, it holds up pretty well. Seeing that fast-paced shooters like Doom 2016 and Titanfall 2 exist in this timeline. Also another few games that I recommend. Picking this game up nowadays is pretty cheap too. You can get it from Steam for around 20 bucks. Lower on a sale obviously. There was word that a PS4 and Xbone version of this game was happening, but details of that sort of went silent at the time of recording this. Anyway, give Vanquish a shot. It's awesome. Next time, we're gonna be looking at rabbits. That'll be fun. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I don't get drunk and run in the woods. Again.
What the hell are you two doing? Disobedience, huh? That's a mistake.